This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 1. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Verse 2. Vanities of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Verse 3. What profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the seven? Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 3 in the NLT version. What do people get for all their hard work under the sun? Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing his truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 through 3, and then I brought out the NLT version of the third verse of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 3, is that as you see in front of your screen, it's pointless, it's useless, all right, to break your behind or break your neck, all right, for lack of better words, all right, in this captivity, all right, because it's all vain, it's useless, all right. Like, this is a sign that this place is on its way out, and it needs to be judged, all right, for being extremely wicked, all right, to the labor force, to the slaves, especially the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, because they're at the bottom, all right. They're getting crumbs from the capital of this sick, twisted, deranged country. And you should know why I call it sick, twisted, deranged country, all right? And that's why, again, this is why I brought out Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 3, and then I expound on the third verse in NLT. One more time, let's read it again. What do people get for all their hard work under the sun? Right. Okay. Nothing. All right. Straight crumbs. And that's why this it's vanity. It's meaningless, you know. This place right here just needs to be judged. All right. This is wicked. This is extremely wicked. Let's get into this article, man. All right. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, it's time to wake up out of sleep. This is not our rest, all right? This is not a place, all right, of a land of milk and honey, all right? This is a place of our captivity. We're clearly slaves here, man, okay? As corporate earnings soar and the U.S. GDP balloons, the American workforce isn't feeling the same boom. American workers are taking home less of the country's overall wealth. Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics show, and employment in the U.S. is set to continue to slow. Right. There's a lot of layoffs. In fact, they call it forever layoffs. There's a term, forever layoffs. Again, there's no point to be busting your ass, okay, at the plantation. You know, you do the bare minimum. All right, and you keep your you stay in the shadows. Okay, I was gonna say keep your your head down, but it's better to stay in the shadows. All right, I got that from Mission Impossible. It's a what's it called? What did Ving Rhames' character say we live and die in the shadows, but we're not going to die. The Lord is going to get us up out of here, only if you believe. But I like that quote that you live in the shadows, man. That's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be when we're at these plantations, in the shadows, behind the scenes. All right, if you can, because this place is meaningless, man. This place is going to be judged. All right. Don't be breaking your neck and back for this fucking at the plantation. Just do what you got to do, all right, to get that paycheck so you could provide for your family. And that's why we can't wait for this place to go. We can't fucking wait, man. All right, we can't wait for this place to be judged. All right, and never exist again. All right, because this place has always been hell. All right, for the children of Israel, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans. The forever layoffs era hits. All right, a recession trigger as corporate sack 1.1 million workers through November. Right, this came out December 9, 2025, and we're now in February. But that's where you get the term forever layoffs. And I'm gonna put right here term. Forever layoffs refer to a 2026 workforce trend where companies shift from or supplement infrequent massive layoffs with continuous small-scale job cuts throughout the year. These quiet, rolling layoffs often involved fewer than 50 people at a time, allowing firms to avoid negative headlines and manage headcount, such as for AI adoption, while creating a slow bleed culture. Yep, and so that's what they've been doing. Okay? Because they don't need the vast majority of the people. They got the AI to do the labor, all right? And that means that they don't have to pay the people, all right? And this is why it makes sense why they want to go to war, all right? And they're going to spread more famine and diseases in this country because they got to, all right, depopulate the population in this land, okay? And the main target are your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans, as well as, okay, a portion of these Edomites. They're going to get it too, all right? Because if they didn't progress in this technology, all right, and thought that their so-called blue collar, white collar is going to save them, it's not. So there it is, all right? And again, this is all, let's read this one more time. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 1. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king of Jerusalem. Verse 2. Vanities of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. When you go to the NOT version, everything is meaningless, says the teacher. Completely meaningless, right? All right? This whole place is meaningless. Vanities of vanities, says the preacher, AMP. Vanities of vanities, all that is done without God's guidance is vanity, futile, meaningless, a wisp of smoke, a vapor that vanishes, merely chasing the wind. Right? Okay? And America doesn't follow the guidelines of how to treat a labor force or a servant. Okay? Because in the Bible, it gives you instructions of how to treat your servant. Okay? How to treat your slave. All right? They don't listen. America, okay, is a godless society. And this is just proof. Just if you follow the money. It's a godless society. It's a greedy, okay, vain society. So let's go to let me get out Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 13. Behold, is it not of the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall wear themselves for very vanity? Again, okay, these people are busting their ass, all right, trying to get the American dream, and the data says that you ain't getting it, okay? This shit is over. They robbing your ass. They taking the pie. They taking everything, the capital, all right? This, look, again, U.S. workers just took home their smallest share of capital since 1947, right? Since they created the Labor Bureau statistics, this is the first time in history, all right, that the capital, all right, has been what's it called? Shared out, all right, at least to the labor force in a Babylon the Great America. First time in history, man. America be breaking history records. All right, when it comes to all the bad things that's happening with this place. Look at this. All right, there's so much data coming out of how bad the economy is, man. Breaking records, breaking historical records. Look at this. Despite corporate earnings skyrocketing, with profits for Fortune 500 companies hitting a record 1.87 trillion in 2024, the U.S. GDP grew 4.3% in the third quarter last year, exceeding economists' prediction. That growth has only come at the expense of how much of the pie of wealth workers are taking home, but also how many Americans are in the workforce, economists warn. The decline in the share of labor has got to be either falling earnings, that's what's happening, people are getting paid less, or falling number of people, right? Less again. Unemployment is skyrocketing. There's more layoffs than ever before. The fallen share of income is having to do with the shift towards capital, right? It goes to the 1% and it's the data is so large that they can't hide it anymore. That's why again in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 13, behold, it is not of the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity. Yup. I want to get the AMP. Is it not indeed from the Lord of hosts that peoples labor only for the fire that will destroy their work, and nations grow weary for nothing, that is, things which have no lasting value? See that? That's the part I want to get. Things that have no lasting value. Okay? And America is finished, man. It's over. Okay? And people are just laboring, all right, for nothing. All right? You're laboring in the very fire. This place is going to be destroyed. Because if you go to the, verse 12, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity. Okay? What sorrow awaits you who build cities with money gained through murder and corruption? This is America is top uno, number one. Number one. All right? Now let's bring out Malachi chapter 3 verse 5, because hey, you elites in America, you're going to be judged, okay? Because if you didn't get a bunker somewhere in Argentina or somewhere in New Zealand or somewhere in Europe or if you're the super rich, powerful, that have a bunker on an island or a landmass that's not on the map, on the global map, all right? You're cooked here, okay? Because you're part of the problem. We're talking about the congressmen, the senators, okay? These Fortune 500 company management, all right? I think that America is going to go on forever and ever. Nah, y'all going to get judged, okay? Malachi chapter 3 verse 5, and I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be swift witness against the sorcerers, and against the adulterers, and against false swearers, and against those that oppress the hireling in his wages. Right, this is a good example. Oppressing a hireling in his wages, not sharing. All right, America's a greedy, vain society, man. I mean, you can just see it. All right, how these rich people act and talk. Okay, that arrogancy, that pomp and pride. The widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right, and fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts. Right, and there it goes, because America doesn't fear the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yet they claim to be Christians. They don't fear the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They don't fear the Messiah, who the world only calls Jesus. All right, because his name is Yahweh Shai. All right, he's coming to judge America. Okay, he's coming to judge Babylon the Great America. All right. 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Right, and this proves that the children of Israel are still here. That the Lord loves the children of Israel. All right, the 12 tribes. All right, and the bulk of the children of Israel that are going to get delivered is out of America, Babylon the Great. Okay, and that's why the truth came out of America, Harlem, USA. Okay. I want to bring this out too. Jeremiah 2 and 14. Is Israel's servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? AMP. Is Israel a servant? Is he a slave by birth? Why has he become a captive and a prey? Right. And this is a proof. We're a captive and a prey here, man. All right. We're not free. Okay. These so-called jobs, all right, are slave labor, man. Okay. The system is set up that, all right, you have to receive some form of wages, some form of earnings to put a roof over your head. All right. Okay. To put electricity, okay, in your home. All right. But that doesn't mean you're free. We're slaves here, man. We're fucking slaves here. All right. And this should be an eye opener for all you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, man. That's why I don't be busting your ass for this fucking place, man. You do the bare minimum just enough so you don't get fired, all right? And if you got to go that extra mile, all right, you know, you do it, all right, where it benefits you for promotion, okay? But don't be fucking busting your ass for this fucking place, man. All right, don't break your neck. Don't hurt yourself for this fucking place. Fuck this place. The Lord's going to judge this place. This place is wicked. And that's why it's vanity. This place is meaningless, man. James chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Right, because the Lord's going to judge America, Babylon the Great. All right? And break the wealth, okay, and the greed from these rich men, because it's America that they use, all right, to profit from, okay? It's America. It's not China. It's not Russia. It's America. America is the number one consuming, okay, country, all right? And these Fortune 500 companies, all right, they profit from it, okay? And these nations around the world profit from it too, because they export to America. 2, your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. 3, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Right, because the destruction's coming. You have reaped treasures together for the last days. Right, again, this is a great example. All right? A great example. 4, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth. Right, and who's the one that is crying? The children of Israel. And the cries of them have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Right, okay. And this is talking about the Lord, okay, with the armies of Israel. Okay, because when you go into Sabaoth, that's why you got to go into words. All right, Sabaoth. So real quickly, Lord of Sabbath, Lord of the armies of Israel, as those who are under the leadership and protection of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai maintain his cause in war. That's why Yahushai is coming for war. That's why he's coming to judge Babylon, because he hears the cries of his people, the children of Israel. He don't give a fuck about you heathens. From you Edomites, he don't give a fuck about you. Okay? You Edomites have shown that you're a bunch of spineless, disgusting, I'm talking about you average Edomites, spineless, disgusting, prideful bastards. You got weirdos and freaks running your government. You ain't doing shit. All right? The Lord don't give a fuck about your prayers, man. Okay? You're not his people. All right? Fuck you. All right? You're not his people. The people that the Lord is dealing with are the children of Israel. And those are the cries that he's hearing. Okay? Let me see if they got a cross-reference for the cries. I'm just curious. Bear me one moment. The cries of them which have reached. Oh, there we go. All right. Yup. Exodus. Because this is spiritually Egypt and Sodom. Yeah, this is spiritual, man. Exodus chapter 2, verse 23. And it came to pass in process time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage. Right. Nothing new under the sun. This is how we're feeling. And they cried, and their cry came up unto God, unto the Most High Power, Yahweh, by reason of the bondage. 24. And the Most High Power heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. Right. And that's exactly what's happening now. The Lord remembered the covenant. All right. And that's why he's speeding up the time. That's why he's going to save his elect. Okay. Because he's hearing the cries of the elect of the children of Israel. Oh, look at this. Exodus chapter 3, verse 9. It's spiritual because we here at Great Millstone, Miami, we've been reading Exodus. Like, that's what we've been focusing on. All right? Because what's it called? We're in spiritual Egypt all over again. Exodus chapter 3, verse 9. Now, therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I've also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them. Right, who's the modern day Egyptians today? Esau, Edom, starting with the elites, okay? Oppressing the children of Israel. You know, here it is. They tell them, they're like, oh, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans need to stop complaining. You're in the best country in the world. And then when you come across data like this, all right, you're like, yo, these fucking Edomites are prideful as fuck, man, saying this shit. All right? This is from the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. All right? All they do, this is from the government's mouth. See, this is what we do here at Great Millstone to the Spirit Power Yahweh. We bring out the receipts. We fax. Okay, check all you prideful ass Edomites, so-called white people. All right? That's why I'd be like, yo, for me, you have, I look straight through your fucking soul. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're nobodies. You're beneath me. All right? You're fucking beneath me. You understand that? All right? Any Edomites, so-called white person watching my videos, you're fucking beneath me. All right? I know I'm a slave here. I'm just waiting for Yahweh Shai to deliver me if I'm part of that number. All right? I've been knew this. I've been knew this shit. It was this whole financial system is rigged and catered to the elites. All right? So yeah. So Lord willing, this lesson is edifying, man, for the hopeful elect. As you can see, this place is full of vanity. Don't bust your ass. Don't be fucking breaking your neck for this place. Do what you got to do to, all right, keep your position. All right, and keep it moving. And Lord willing, man, the Lord ends this insanity. All right, this year, if not next year. All right, but we know it's coming. We know we got months here. This shit can't sustain itself again. All right, this shit cannot sustain itself. All right, forever layoff. This is what they're doing. They're just laying people off. Okay, and you see it, man. You see it, like layoffs. So there's gonna be fucking turmoil. You got even the Washington Post. All right, what's it called? Laying people off. Jeff Bezos. Okay, because they don't need the prostitutes anymore. And ha to you prostitutes, all y'all that sold out writing a bullshit news. See, this is the Lord judging you little bastards, man. Y'all was laughing and giggling when the Washington Post started laying off their employees. I was fucking giggling, man. I was like, yeah, that's what you fucking get, you piece of shit journalists. Ain't bringing out the truth of what's really going on. Fucking prostitutes. Yeah, that's what you get. Now they don't need you little thoughts anymore. Okay? Corporate layoffs, a closer look at the real reason for cuts. Look at that. Corporate layoffs. Now that everybody's getting a cut, man. This shit is over with. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's why everything is vanity. It's vanity. It's all meaningless. All right. And what do you, all that labor? All right. What are you taking with you? All right. So Lord willing, us edify. I want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep it door, keep the faith. Keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostle elders. We're almost out of here. All right? So, stay prayed up. Pray for the apostle elders' health and their longevity. And for the few that are watching, keep studying. When you pray, check, cover. Almost out of here. Shalom.